Hey guys, this is Undercover Dudes all the way from Down Under, and today we're going to be playing Critical Ops on the PC using a mobile emulator, but this time I'm going to show you how. You guys have been asking for this tutorial for quite a long time, so here it is. And funnily enough, the team behind Knox Play, they wanted to go and sponsor this video, and since I was going to go and do this tutorial anyway, it is an absolutely perfect fit. Now, if you haven't heard of Knox before, it's basically a program which emulates Android games on the PC. I personally use it for gaming, as it can go and run these mobile games at 1080p 60 frames per second with little to no frame drop. You can also go and run multiple Android instances as well, but the thing you guys probably want to go and know about is the controls. Using the keyboard layout option, you can go and set up Knox so it plays like a normal FPS game. WASD for movement, left click for fire, control to crouch, and so on. It's fully customizable as well, so you can go and change it depending on the game, and that is very, very cool indeed. So with all of that said, a big thank you to Knox for sponsoring this video. A link will be in the description below if you want to go and try out this program for yourself, but let's get right into the tutorial. Alright guys, so when you first go and load up Knox, this is probably what you're going to be seeing, an Android 4 type interface. Now Android 4 can go and work with Critical Ops and other first person shooters on the mobile, however there is some compatibility, some lag issues as well, so overall I would not go and suggest it. I would suggest to go and use a later version of Android. Now to go and do that, on the right hand side here, you'll see this like cascading window button. It's called the multi-instance manager, so if you go and click that, it will go and bring you up different versions of Android that you can go and run at the same time, so you can have multiple windows if you want. However, we're going to be adding Android 7.1.2. Now to go and do that, click the add emulator button, and then you'll go and see this one here, click, and it will go and pop up exactly like I have it. Now with that said, you want to go and customize some settings and go and maximize your performance, so click the system settings button before you go and load it up. Now as you can see here, it says performance settings. On default it would be mid. Chuck that onto high and make sure it goes and uses as many cores as possible. Startup settings, make sure it's on tablet, 1920 by 1080, compatibility OpenGL, and frame rate 60 FPS. Once that's all good, you'll be getting the best performance with your system. Alright guys, so we've got Android 7 loaded, and in order to go and install Critical Ops, it's pretty simple. Go to the tools section, go to Play Store, type in Critical Ops, go and install it, and then you'll be on your way. Alright, so now that we're in game, what we need to go and do is set up our controls. Now, if this is your first time going and loading up Critical Ops, it will go and put you through a tutorial, but all you need to go and do is click in the top left hand corner the pause button and then hit settings. So that's exactly what we're going to be doing. Go in the controls right here and then hit edit touch controls. Alright, so the button that we want to go and press is keyboard control. It's the second one down on the very, very right hand side of the screen. So we're going to go into edit touch controls, and then we're going to go and click this button right here. Now as you can see, this is my Critical Ops config. It has all the buttons that I need to go and play the game. However, when you guys go and see, it's going to look a bit more like this. It's going to look completely blank. So on the top left hand corner here, we've got all these different buttons and they represent different things. So this one right here, this is movement, how to go and move around the map. So what we go and do is we drag it onto here, and then it'll be a bit small, so we want to go and drag it out so it goes and, you know, completely fills the space. Now the next thing we want to go and do is our crosshair, and that's pretty simple. Just go and press the shooting games only crosshair button, you click that, and then boom, it's right there in the middle. Now the next thing that you need to go and do is your fire button. You go over here, you go and click shooting games only, and it'll go and spawn in a fire button. So you go and just put your fire button here. And then the rest is pretty self-explanatory. For me, when you go to the purchasing section of Critical Ops, I like pressing B, like Counter-Strike. So I've got the B button right here. To go and get that, just this big A right here. You click that one, and then you can go and put it anywhere. I've got one to go and swap my weapons. I've got control to go and crouch, space to jump, the so on so on, and then we've got to do one right here for right click so I can go and scope in. So the next thing you need to go and do is move the opacity setting all the way down to 0%, because it will go and show like W, D, S, A, all these different type of letters on your screen, and it looks a little bit cluttered. So put it on 0%, press save, and you guys are ready to go. Make sure to go and turn off aim acceleration. That's really, really important as well, so your aim doesn't get a little bit funny. Then when it comes down to show HUD, make sure that's on, but control opacity. bringing it all the way down to 0%, so you don't go and see, you know, the touch controls, so it just looks like a clean interface. Alright, so I've got my cursor right here, just across the screen. I'm gonna go and press the minus button, and boys, we are ready to go. We're playing Critical Ops with keyboard control. Now what you can also go and do is change the graphics to go and make your game look a little bit better. Currently it has automatic graphics settings, but you can go all the way down here. Screen scale, 100%. Level of detail, maximum, high, maximum, anti-aliasing if you want as well. You can go and crank it because you're playing it on a computer. Now, to be fair, the majority of people that go and do this Critical Ops on PC type of thing, they won't have the best computers. So with that said, they're not going to be running on the maximum settings because the computer isn't that good. So with that said, we're going to go and bring it all the way down to the lowest setting possible. Yes, the textures are pretty bad, and overall the game doesn't look that good in comparison to what we were just seeing, but it can go and run on really bad computers quite easily. Like, the only little bit of frame hitching I'm getting is just because of the emulator, but it's still very much playable, and that is absolutely fantastic, and it doesn't go and inhibit my gameplay in any way, shape, or form. As you can see, got a spawn camp right here. Can this guy, there we go. We've got an M4 now. We're just dominating these guys. Now, as you can go and see, my game just went and crashed, but with that said, that's just because Critical Ops doesn't like emulators. But it was a really good example to go and show how the controls and all that work. But you could go and use the same thing for like Shadowgun Legends, you could use it for PUBG, even PUBG's got its inbuilt controls. If you just go and click and load it up, it will automatically have the controls there for you, so that's pretty good. So with that said, hopefully you guys enjoyed this tutorial. If you did, make sure to go and give it a like rating. But other than that, it's Undercover Dudes all the way from down under, out.